You guys will never guess. But this face of mine, naturally beautiful and loved by everyone, is actually the ugliest face in the entire capital. In this world, women who look like them are considered the true peak beauties. I was ugly my entire past life. In this life, I finally managed to transmigrate, thinking I could finally make a comeback with my face. And the result, heavens. Did you think there weren't enough people insulting me in my past life?
Miss, why are you suddenly crying?
I lived for 28 years in my past life, and I never even held a man's hand. I was an old maid until the day I died. In this lifetime, I'm going to date 10 of them. I want to go out for a walk.
Miss, you cannot go out. Madam won't let you leave the house. Last time you went out, you were seen by the Gel family. Madam was absolutely furious. She said if you go out again, she will break your legs.
Ching-hee, think about it. I am so beautiful. If I don't go out and let people feast their eyes, wouldn't that be a terrible waste of God's gift? Besides, Mother is just worried because I'm so gorgeous, fearing that bad people might target me. It is fine. I'm leaving.
My lady. What is wrong with Miss today? Doesn't she know she is very ugly?
As expected, this face really is something else. From this day forward, I will never be like I was in my past life, keeping my head down, too afraid to be seen. I want everyone in the capital to see what real beauty looks like.
How unlucky.
Hey, stop right there.
Don't come over here. Don't come over here. Stay away from me.
I'm asking you, what do you mean by that?
Stay away from me. What does that mean? Go back home and look in a mirror.
How dare you go outside looking like that?
Why do they all look like this? Could it be? No way. Oh, God, don't play tricks on me. No, I have to go back and ask Ching-hee. What on earth is going on? Who is it?
Who indeed? I'm your eldest sister. Who allowed you to go out? How many times has mother told you not to go out and embarrass us?
That broad, square face, those squinty eyes, this wheat-colored skin. How is it exactly the same as those people outside? Sister, that slap of yours was quite nice. It is just that you lacked a bit of strength. Put some more back into it next time. Otherwise, I won't feel a thing.
You dare?
Sister, you dropped your silver. Sister, it seems like she is making a fool out of you.
Shut up.
Ching-hee, let me ask you. Am I really ugly?
My lady, you are indeed not very good looking.
Be specific. How am I not good looking?
A small face brings no fortune. Large eyes make you look dull. Fair skin makes you look sickly. A slender waist will blow away in the wind. Especially your chest, it is too small.
Then what is considered good looking?
A square face, squinty eyes, wheat-colored skin, a thick waist, and a very large chest, like the first and second young ladies.
Huh? What kind of standard is that? Who made that rule?
It has always been this way. It was passed down by our ancestors. Our great Jin dynasty has adored these traits for generations.
Oh my God.
So the face and body I worked so hard to get
Are considered a total disaster in this place. In my past life, my ugliness was one of a kind. And in this life, my beauty is in a league of its own. Heavens, why must you torture me like this?
I am 41 years old this year. I'm not picky anymore. As long as she can have children, let's find a time to meet up.
Yes.
You look quite shocking.
How was it? What did he say? Silent again. So it didn't work out again. Which number is this? I'm too embarrassed to even ask.
I didn't even say anything before he left.
I knew it. Look at you. How did I give birth to a daughter who looks like you? What a misfortune.
Mom, what is wrong with the way I look? Am I really your biological daughter? Why is it that every time...
Never mind. I don't want to talk about it anymore. You wouldn't listen even if I did. Just keep drifting through life like this. We'll see who takes care of you when you're old.
Oh, heavens. If there is a next life, please give me a beautiful face. Not striking back when beaten, not talking back when scolded, enduring it all for a lifetime, enduring it until death. In this life, I'm not enduring a single thing. So what if I'm ugly, as long as I'm happy? Haha.
Miss, The madam wants you to go to the main hall. Lord Xiao is here. He wants you to serve tea.
Lord Xiao, the most handsome man in the capital.
Yes, Lord Xiao came to propose today. Let's go.
Let's go see what the #1 handsome man in the city looks like.
What are you doing here? Don't be an eyesore here.
Indeed, third sister. Don't scare people away with that face of yours.
Stand further back. Don't stand where you can be seen.
Since third daughter is here, just stand to the side. The main focus today is your eldest and second sisters.
Lord Xiao and Lady Xiao have arrived.
Lady Xiao, Lord Xiao, please come in. Girls, greet Lady Xiao.
Greetings, Madam Xiao.
Oh my god, he is so handsome. He definitely deserves his title as the most handsome man. If I could date him in this lifetime, I could die happy. But he is the #1 handsome man in town. And I'm the #1 ugliest girl. We're not even in the same league. But it is not a crime to dream, right?
This is my eldest daughter. Take a look. This is my second daughter. What do you think, Lord Xiao? Lord Xiao, these two are already the best my household has to offer, and neither caught your eye?
I heard there is another lady in your household. Rumor has it, she looks quite different from the others.
Yes, there is another. But Lord Xiao,
It is best you don't see her. My third sister's looks are truly hard to describe.
yes, my third daughter's appearance is really too embarrassing to present. We shouldn't offend Lord Xiao's eyes.
I'd like to see just how different she is.
Well, third daughter, come over here.
Greetings, Lord Xiao.
Cheer, have you chosen? Cheer.
Mother. Her.
Lord Xiao, you mean my third daughter?
Don't scare your mother. Mother is getting old.
Lord Xiao, someone as handsome and talented as you should be matched with a proper lady like my eldest sister.
Lord Xiao, how am I inferior to her?
Lord Xiao, I do not mean to reject your proposal. But given my third daughter's appearance, if you truly marry her, how will you ever go out to socialize? Even if you don't care. Our Shen family cannot afford to lose face like this.
Lord Xiao, is there something wrong with your eyes? You reject my beautiful eldest sister only to choose her. Look how ugly she is. She looks like she is on her deathbed. People will think our Shen family mistreats her.
Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. I finally got the face of my dreams, only to have everyone look down on it. If I had brought my pie face from my past life here, wouldn't I be the #1 beauty in the city? I am so done with this.
My son, if your father finds out, he will be worried sick. We cannot be so reckless. Of all the fine young ladies in the capital, how could you not choose any of them, but insist on, where will I hide my face in the future?
Mother, I understand everything you are saying. But this is my personal matter. Let me make my own decision. I choose the third miss. There is no need to persuade me further.
Young Master Xiao, are you really leaving just like this? You won't even say a single word to me. Everyone in the capital praises my beauty. In what way am I inferior to her?
Young Master Xiao, marriage is a grand matter. Please reconsider.
The betrothal gifts will arrive in 3 days.
Xiao Yan, you will definitely regret this.
Wow, he really chose me, the most handsome man in the city. Actually chose me, the recognized ugly duckling. Is there something wrong with his head? Or is he also a transmigrator? No, if he transmigrated, his acting skills would have to be too good. That coldness deep in his bones, that formal respect for his elders, and that attitude of not bothering to waste words on them. You can't fake that. But if he is a native noble young master of this ancient world, he should naturally have accepted this world's standards of beauty. Why on earth would he take a fancy to an ugly girl like me? Could it be that this guy has some hidden illness? Mental issues, or maybe he is impotent? Or does he simply not like women at all? So he chose an ugly wife to make me feel forever indebted to him. If he is trying to scheme against me, we'll have to see if he has the capability.
You did that on purpose. Did you step out on purpose? Just so he would notice you.
He asked if there was anyone else, and mother called for me. So of course I came out.
You. Do you think he really wants to marry you? He didn't even want to spare you a single glance. He just picked one at random to get it over with.
Then go and tell him that. What is the use of telling me?
You useless brat, you dare stop me.
Young Master Xiao hasn't gone far yet. If you're not afraid of him seeing, then keep going. After that day, I heard eldest sister locked herself in her room the whole time, not even coming out to eat. She seemed to have taken a major blow. As for me, I was actually very busy. I spent all my days burying myself in books in the dilapidated room left by grandfather. Although being able to marry the city's #1 handsome man was indeed joyful, but more than that, there is one thing I want to figure out even more. How on earth did the standards of beauty in this world become warped into something like this?
Miss, what are you looking for?
I don't know.
Then what are you flipping through them for?
I'll know once I find it. In truth, I didn't know what I was looking for either. I just felt something was wrong with this world. Everyone keeps saying a square face is beautiful and squinty eyes are beautiful. The harder they push it, the more off it feels to me. If it were natural, would they need to talk about it every single day? There must be a reason behind this. I must find it. It was about half a month later, when I dug out a very old book from the pile of papers. The cover was already ruined, and the title was illegible. However, there was something tucked inside. The 3rd year of Jinghe, Imperial Decree of the Empresses. The words that followed were torn off, and the edges of this half-portrait were singed yellow, looking as though they had been burned by fire. How does the woman in this portrait look just like me? A standard ugly woman. Why would great-grandfather keep a portrait of a woman like this? According to the standards of beauty here, shouldn't he have kept a portrait of a square-jawed beauty, like eldest sister? Could it be that great-grandfather, just like Lord Xiao, had a unique preference for ugly women? No, the wife great-grandfather eventually married was also a beauty like eldest sister. Then this. Eldest sister, what brings you here? Is there something you need?
Hold her down for me.
Let me go.
Ma, you've grown quite bold. Back when you used to get beaten, didn't you used to be too afraid to even lift your head? Now that you've clung on to Lord Xiao, your spine has suddenly stiffened. Do you really think Lord Xiao could ever fancy you? He merely pities you. A sparrow flying up a branch to become a phoenix. That is just a lie from storybooks. Why don't you look in the mirror and see if you're even worthy? You dare glare at me. This slap is to teach you a lesson for shamelessly seducing Lord Xiao.
You'd better beat me to death today. Otherwise, I will surely return this to you twofold.
You, what do you think you are? How dare you dream of paying me back? Do you think you're someone important just because you've clung on to Lord Xiao? You're nothing but a dog of the Shen family. Let me tell you, even if heaven itself came down today, I would still thrash you. What are you winking and grimacing for? Hold her down properly.
Enough.
Lord Xiao. What brings you here?
Have your people step back this instant. I do not care what grievances lie between you, but remember this. She is the woman I, Xiao Yan, intend to marry.
Lord Xiao, I have waited for you for so many years. Who in the entire capital doesn't know my feelings for you? Everyone says we are a perfect match, destined to be together in the future. But you...
Indeed, Lord Xiao. If you didn't choose me, I could understand. I can understand. But my eldest sister is such a beautiful woman. Why didn't you choose her either? You might not know, but the son of the Minister of Rights, the heir of the Marquis, and even the prince's son, she didn't care for any of them. She rejected them all, just waiting for you. You chose her today. What will my eldest sister do from now on? Are you worthy of her deep devotion?
How many years has she waited? How many people has she rejected? That was her own choice, and has nothing to do with me. As for why I chose her, that also has nothing to do with you. You only need to know one thing. She is no longer just your third sister.
After that day, eldest sister seemed to become a different person. Not only did she stop looking for trouble with me, she would even nod when meeting on the road and call me third sister. Her tone was neither warm nor cold, as if nothing had ever happened.
Miss, eldest miss, what kind of game is she playing? A few days ago she was calling for blood, but now she is quite polite.
Never mind her, as long as she doesn't cause us trouble. By the way, Qinghe, I haven't thanked you yet for bringing Lord Xiao in time that day. Otherwise, my poor body would have really suffered.
Miss, please don't thank me. If Lord Xiao hadn't happened to come to the estate for business that day, I wouldn't have been able to think of a way.
After going through this incident, one thing became clear to me. Relying on anyone is not as good as relying on oneself. Xiao Yan could come once, he could come twice, but can he happen to be there every single time? There are still 2 months until the grand wedding. It is neither too long, nor too short. Who knows what mishaps might happen in the meantime? Eldest sister backed down today, but who knows if she truly backed down, or if she is just waiting for the next opportunity. No one in this family is my supporter. Even after I marry into their family, how will the Xiao family treat me? I saw Lord Xiao's mother's attitude very clearly that day. Her disdain was not put on. It was genuine. Humph, I don't believe she would suddenly like me. Just because of a single word from Xiao Yan. No, I can only feel secure if I have money on hand. In case things go wrong, having money means I can at least buy information, pave my way, and survive.
Miss, what do you want me to do?
Go out and ask around about what sells the best and what people buy the most.
Miss, rouge and powder sell the best, especially in those shops where the colors are pure. The scents are good, and the prices are not expensive. They are sold out as soon as they are put on the shelves.
Rouge. I studied applied chemistry in my past life, and my graduate direction was fine chemical engineering. I know formulas, processes, and materials. Putting these skills in this era, it would be a waste of my talents if I didn't do something with them.
Miss, what are you doing?
Seeing how others do it. In order to develop the wheat-colored skin tone that this world likes, I tested the raw material ratios, grinding precision, shades, shade blending, and types of fragrances step by step. To my surprise, I actually managed to make it in 3 days. The original owner of this body had been beaten and scolded all these years. She had nowhere to spend her money, so she saved it all, although it wasn't much. It was enough to rent a small shop.
Miss, you've chosen such a good name.
Niangxiang Pavilion sounds so fragrant. The first batch of rouge sold out in 3 days. Everyone said they had never seen such high-quality rouge and powder. Then came the second batch, the third batch, and the fourth batch. The quantity wasn't large, and I didn't make a huge profit, but the money was indeed slowly accumulating.
Miss, you don't lack food or clothing. Why bother with all this?
Having savings makes me feel secure. Besides making these cosmetics, I would still go to the old study to look through books whenever I had time. But except for that torn page containing the Empress's decree, and that half-portrait of the ugly woman, I couldn't find any other clues about their standards of beauty. With only 7 days left before the wedding, Mother called me to the main hall.
Word has come from the Xiao family. They want to call off this marriage.
Why?
They didn't say, they just said they want to call it off.
Why would the Xiao family suddenly call off the wedding? I wonder if eldest sister's recent quiet behavior has anything to do with this. But there is one thing I have vaguely noticed. Lately, the way the servants in the manor look at me has changed. It is no longer the disdain from before, but rather an indescribable, suggestive look.
Miss, there are rumors going around outside saying that you've been having an affair, that you are no longer pure. That is why the Xiao family is calling off the wedding.
Having an affair? No wonder. The Xiao family calling off the marriage is no coincidence. This is a game of chess. And I am the last one to learn the rules. Take this money first. Yes, you need money to look into things. Buy people tea when you need to.
And buy information when you must.
Yes, miss. Did you find out who started the rumor?
I asked several people, but none of them knew where it originated. In any case, everyone is talking about it.
Go investigate a few things. First, who was the first to spread this rumor? Second, who is spreading it most fiercely? Third, have eldest sister's maids been meeting with outsiders recently?
Miss, do you suspect eldest miss?
I didn't say that, just go investigate. The next day, someone from the Xiao family arrived. It wasn't Xiao Yan. It was the senior maid who serves Lord Xiao's mother.
Third child, the Xiao family said they want to call off the engagement.
Why?
Why would we need proof for something like this? It has already spread all over the streets.
Just because it spread everywhere means it is true.
Third, Miss Shen, you must have heard the rumors going around outside as well. Our madam said, the Xiao family is a respectable family, and we cannot marry a daughter-in-law with a ruined reputation.
Does the senior maid have any proof for these so-called rumors?
Third child, how can you speak to the senior maid like that?
Senior maid, regarding calling off the engagement. Does young Master Xiao know about this?
Young Master Xiao, his mother will discuss it with him.
Which means he doesn't know. Mother, please give me 3 days. I will get to the bottom of this matter.
What is there for you to investigate?
If he finds out, will he help me? Or does he simply not care at all? But if the engagement is called off because of a rumor, I will never accept it. It is not because I cannot let him go, but because I refuse to be like in my past life, where people gossiped about me as they pleased, and without even fighting back. I just foolishly accepted my fate. Over the next 2 days, Qinghe ran herself ragged outside. It wasn't until the evening of the 3rd day that she brought back 2 pieces of news.
Miss, I found out. The first one to spread the rumor was Chunlan, the maid of eldest Miss. She mentioned it while drinking with a gatekeeping old maid from the Xiao residence. That old maid then spread it further within the Xiao family. And there is a second piece of news. The Xiao family sent word out that the wedding date remains unchanged, and preparations will proceed as scheduled. They say it was young Master Xiao's decision.
Eldest sister won't let this go easily. I could have guessed that. But he, the most handsome man in the entire city, the eldest son of the minister of the court of state ceremonial, and a successful candidate of the provincial civil service exam himself. He is handsome and comes from a prominent family. With his achievements, what kind of woman couldn't he have? Yet, not only did he choose me, he didn't even call off the engagement, not caring about the slander against me. There must be something seriously wrong with this guy. He is well into his 20s and still unmarried. Whenever he meets someone for matchmaking, they all shake their heads. Either he is impotent, or he is a transmigrator, like me. Other than that, I can't think of any other possibility. Forget it. I'll find a chance to investigate his issues later. The priority right now is to prove my innocence. It seems I must visit the Xiao residence tomorrow.
I specifically ordered the kitchen to make this. Please try some. Ha. Haha. Third sister, you're here too. Have a seat.
Madam Xiao, I came here today for the sake of my innocence.
The matter of the rumors is already in the past. The wedding date remains unchanged. Why do you bring it up again?
Indeed, third Miss Shen, Yanner is not pursuing this, yet you still think it is not enough? An ugly person always makes the most fuss. How did Yanner ever choose you?
Aunt said I was ugly. I admit that since young Master Xiao chose me, he surely doesn't care about this. I came here today, not to bicker over who is right, but only to argue clearly for my own innocence.
Third sister, Aunt Xiao speaks bluntly, so please don't take it to heart. It is just that this matter is already over. If you dig it up again, others will only think you are being relentlessly unforgiving.
Relentlessly unforgiving.
I, your sister, believe in your innocence, but how outsiders talk is not something we can control.
Yes.
When the time comes, the Shen family's reputation will be affected. Won't you spare a thought for the Shen family?
Eldest sister is right. That is why I must investigate this thoroughly, lest dirty water be splashed onto the Shen family's head. If you are dragged down because of it, I would feel terrible as well. Madam Xiao, I have investigated and uncovered some things over the past few days.
Third sister, must you do this? Family scandals should not be aired in public. Whatever it is, let's talk about it when we get back. What could a young lady like you possibly find out? You must have been deceived by someone.
Indeed, third Miss Shen, your eldest sister has the best intentions. Why can't you understand that?
Madam Xiao, the rumors actually originated from the maid by my eldest sister's side, Chunlan. She spoke of it while drinking with the Xiao family's gatekeeper maidservant. The witness and her testimony are both right here. If Madam Xiao does not believe it, we can bring her in for a face-to-face confrontation. Eldest sister, you keep saying family scandals shouldn't be aired in public, but you were the one who aired this scandal yourself.
Third sister, after all your investigation, you point the finger at my own maid. Let me ask you then. Chunlan is indeed my maid, but how do you prove her testimony is true? How do you prove that you didn't bribe her to bite back and falsely accuse me? Madam Xiao, third sister is my biological sister. If she marries well, it brings honor to my face as well. Why would I want to harm her? I have no reason to do so.
Exactly, third Miss Shen. Your eldest sister is your own sister. She has no reason to harm you. You investigated and investigated, only to accuse your own eldest sister. What kind of behavior is this?
Eldest sister, you say you have no reason. But on the day the Xiao family came to propose marriage, what did you say? And in grandfather's old study, what did you do to me? In your eyes. This marriage should have been yours. You were unwilling, so you didn't want me to successfully marry. Eldest sister, speak with a clear conscience. Do you truly want me to marry into the Xiao family?
You do not make such slanderous accusations. These past few days I've barely even stepped out of the house. How could I have gone around spreading rumors? Third sister, just to marry into the Xiao family. You really dare to do anything. How much money did you pay Chunlan to make her bite back at me?
You didn't need to go out yourself to deliver the message. Chunlan is your personal maid. If she takes a trip to the Xiao family, no one would stop her. As for whether Chunlan was bribed by me, just call her in to confront her, and
What confrontation? Didn't mother agree not to pursue this? And keep the wedding date as scheduled?
Yaner, it is not that we want to pursue this. It is your bride-to-be, who insisted on coming to the Xiao house to make a scene.
Indeed, young Master Xiao. My third sister takes things too seriously. She just had to make a scene at the Xiao family. I am also doing this for her own good.
If you ask me, you should reconsider.
The eldest, Miss Shen, this is a matter of our Xiao family. Please do not interfere in the future. And please remember, even if I don't choose her, I will never choose you.
Xiao Yan, don't think I'm desperate to marry you. Men who want to marry me line up from the east of the city to the west.
Enough, this matter ends here. The wedding will be in 3 days. Go back and prepare everyone.
on the day of the wedding, the Xiao family held it in an extremely simple manner. There were no colorful decorations, and no grand feast for guests. Only 2 red lanterns were hung at the entrance, just to go through the motions. Actually, I'm not afraid of getting married. What I'm afraid of is, after getting married, how I will survive in the Xiao family.
Miss, why did we stop at the side gate?
It is fine.
First, bow to heaven and earth. Second, bow to the parents. Husband and wife bow to each other.
Miss, are you hungry? I'll get you something to eat.
Go to sleep. I still have official business.
As expected, marrying into this family is no blessing at all. Psi marriage is ultimately not a woman's true destination. Only she herself is.